Plaintiff Gail Locke says the defendant is a deacon at the church she attends, and she had a lot of respect for him. But then he scammed her. Gail claims she gave the defendant a loan to help with his court fees, but when she asked for the money back, he told her it was God's money, so she's suing. Defendant Carlos Anderson says he is the church deacon and a trustee, and he is about to give shelter to homeless people with a large inheritance he's set to receive. Carlos says Gail has not given him enough time to repay the loan.
All right, let's start with you.
Your Honor, I've been scammed. I went to the same church as Deacon Carlos. He was a deacon at my church. I had the highest regards for Deacon Carlos. I had a lot of respect for him. If I had some questions about the Bible or just anything, I asked Deacon Carlos and I respected his answer. I really thought a lot of him. When my pastor asked me to lead the noonday Bible study, I was a little nervous because I wasn't used to standing in front of people. And you know, you have to lead songs. I didn't know a lot of the songs. Deacon Carlos came and assisted leading the songs. He even held and watched my 3-year-old granddaughter while I led the service. And I'm just surprised.
He held your purse, did he?
Well, sort of, kind of.
That was next.
And I'm just kind of, I just don't believe what has happened here. I don't believe I'm here today.
How long have you all known each other in the church?
Maybe a year.
Okay. And your friendship was pretty solid?
Church.
Yeah, that's what I'm referring to.
Solid as church members,
All
yes.
right, and your observation of him as a deacon was all positive?
Yeah, when I first met him, it was all positive.
Okay.
Yeah,
right.
I really thought a lot of him. I even told him, I love your spirit. Remember I told you that, Deacon Carlos?
Yes,
Do you remember when I said I love your spirit?
Yes,
and I really trusted him and I really respected him. And I'm so embarrassed. I had the highest regards for Deacon Carlos. When my pastor asked me to lead the noonday Bible study, Deacon Carlos came and assisted leading the songs. He even held and watched my 3-year-old granddaughter. I'm just surprised.
He held your purse, did he?
Well,
Plaintiff Gail Locke says the defendant is her church deacon, and she gave him a loan. But when Gail asked for the money back, the defendant told her it was God's money.
All right, well, let me hear his side, sir. Let me hear from you.
Yes, I started in the church and I became a deacon. I became a trustee and I paid all the bills for the church.
Y'all must be Baptist.
I'm Pentecostal, sir.
Which Pentecostal organization?
They were with the PAW, but I'm not with them
Pentecostal
anymore.
Assemblies of the World.
Yes, sir.
Presiding Bishop is Charles Ellis III,
Yes, sir.
my friend.
Yes, sir.
Who are you with?
Well, I left the church. I left that church and now I'm with another church, but they're still with the PAW.
Oh, PAW
Yes,
still,
sir.
but just
Yes,
a
sir.
different church.
Just different church.
All right.
Building.
Okay. Does Bishop Ellis know about y'all? You don't even know who that is?
I know who
That's
Bishop
your
Ellis is.
presiding
I know
bishop,
who
the head
he
of
is,
the
sir.
entire PAW.
I know who he is, sir. I look at him on television.
Okay, well, I'm with him yesterday.
Okay.
So who got the closest? Who can get to him quicker?
You will.
Well, I'm sure going to ask about you then. If he don't know, I'm going to tell him.
Okay.
Unless you pay it, then I won't mention you. Go ahead. But as you see, I know what I'm talking about. Greater Grace Temple in Detroit is where he is the leader. Bishop Blake from the Church of God in Christ is my pastor in Los Angeles. He's the presiding bishop over the 6 million member Church of God in Christ, which is a Pentecostal organization as well. And then you have my other pastor in, I got to have a lot of church. Some folks need a lot of church, and I'm one of them.
Me too.
So when I go to Detroit, I'm at Greater Emmanuel Church of God in Christ, where my bishop there is Bishop J. Drew Sheard. He was recently elected to the General Council of the Church of God in Christ. See, I know a lot of church. Now the question is, never mind. Now, let's get to what do you want to tell me about yourself?
Right. So after coming there, I had started an organization called Charity and Grace Begin at Home. And what I have planned on doing is I'm going to be coming into a large sum of money. It's through an inheritance and through other means. And
Do you pay tithes on the inheritance? I'm not sure. Like you don't pay certain things.
I will be paying tithes.
Oh, good. You're a good man. You're true. Go ahead.
All right. So
On your income, do you pay after tax or before tax?
always before taxes, sir.
How about you?
After.
Pay your tax after?
After, I'm
All
just
right.
honest.
Well, me and you going to hell together.
I'm just honest. I don't think so if we honest. At least we're honest.
All right, so you're coming into a relatively large inheritance.
So with this money, and that is in court right now,
Okay.
and so it's out of probate court, and now it's in Washington, D.C. And so because of the large sum of money that it is, and so with the money that I'm going to be able to provide shelter for the homeless, be able to provide, I'm a veteran, and I'm over 65 years old, and I'll be able to provide shelter for all the veterans and be able to be a blessing to those people that are 65 and older, that I'll be able to pay part of their utility bills. And I'm opening up clinics in Indianapolis starting on 4 sides of the town.
Excellent.
And be able to provide clinical care from head to toe with
Excellent.
that. And so because I borrowed this money from Gail.
Well, let me congratulate you first. That's very honorable. Give him a hand. That's the real work of Jesus, all right? Housing the homeless, feeding the poor, clothing the naked, setting the captives free. I know what I'm talking about now. Your income, do you pay after tax or before tax?
Always before taxes, sir.
How about you?
After.
Pay your tax after?
After, I'm just honest.
For me and you going to hell together.
I'm just honest.
Plaintiff Gail Locke says the defendant is her church deacon, and she gave him a loan. But when Gail asked for the money back, the defendant told her it was God's money.
Let's get to the loan you're suing him about.
Okay, I loaned him the money, and he said that he would pay me back handsomely. If you know,
I didn't hear that part. I heard him say he gonna build church,
Well,
he gonna
yeah.
build clinics, homeless. He gonna do everything but pay
you gotta pay your small debts first.
I'm just kidding.
And
Pardon
then
me.
when I called him about the money,
Let's start with the loan and
loan.
terms of repayment. That's
okay, the loan, he said that when I gave him the money on September 1st, 2011,
why did he need it? Or tell me what happened with that.
why he needed it?
What did
He was
tell
on the
you?
prayer line saying that he needed the money to help them with the court fees in the
Okay.
probate court. So on September the 1st, 2011, I took him $3,000. And he said his sister was on her way to DC to sign the papers for the money, and I haven't seen it. So when I called him, and we hadn't had a disagreement, hadn't fell out or nothing. This is my brother in Christ, deacon in my church. So I called him and asked him about the money. He said, well, I don't have any money. I said, well, I need my money. It's been over a year. I can't keep waiting. I said, I need my money. He said, well, it's not your money anyway. It's God's money. And I told him it's God's money that he gave to me. Okay?
That's
He
right.
said, well, you people need to be patient. How do you think me and my sister feel with you people accusing us of lying or scheming?
You
or
people, as in whom? More,
I guess
he
all the
owed more
other
than
people.
one?
I guess all the other people he's
He
borrowed money
owed-
from.
Right. Okay.
Okay, so
And when is the last communication you had with him regarding your money?
it's been about 6 or 7 months ago.
What was his response
and then? He told, this is the last time I talked to him.
All right.
Then he told me, well, I've gotten more money than your little $2,500, correction, $3,000 from other people. And I guess the other people, I don't
He
know.
talked nasty to you like that?
Yes, he did. And I had to look at my phone. I was driving. It's like, is this Deacon Carlos? Because that wasn't the Deacon Carlos I knew. Yes, he was very nasty. And I'm very embarrassed and very humiliated to have to bring a church brother to court.
And he sounds sincere in terms of his commitment.
I'm just, Judge Mathis, I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed for my family to know that I loaned somebody $3,000. But I thought he was sincere. And, you know, he said he would pay me back handsomely, so I sort of looked at it as an investment. But I guess I was
he might have
wrong.
meant he'd show up. He might feel he's handsome and might have said, when he said, I'm going to pay you back handsomely, that mean I'm going to show up.
He ain't my type.
Show you my good looks.
Well, he's not my type anyway.
Go ahead, sir. Let me hear from you on, let's hear from you on the loan, sir.
I told her that I was going to repay the money.
Why'd you borrow it from her? Give me a little more background on this.
The reason I borrowed it was because we needed to pay off.
How did you come upon her as the bank?
Well, I asked my pastor. The pastor knows about the situation.
On the prayer line.
No.
What did he say?
He said he knew about because he is the vice president of the organization that I have started. So I said, I need people that would be able to help me out to get this done. Mainly it's getting the...
And what did he say?
He knew several people, and so he gave me Sister Gail's name.
Oh, so the pastor recommended you to her?
Yes, sir.
Oh, so he told you to go get you $3,000.
Well, he told me to see if she would be willing to borrow, if she would be willing to loan me.
Pastor sent the deacon to the female parishioner and said, you better go get you some money.
Well, it's nothing. I'm not sure the way you're trying to say it.
I'm saying it like it is. You're the one that said it. You said the pastor sent you to her to borrow money.
Yes, because...
All right, well, that's all I just said.
Okay, so...
All right, good enough. Now you know your pastor sent him to you to get $3,000. You got his $3,000. He hadn't paid you. Did you know the pastor sent him?
I didn't know the pastor.
All right, well,
sent
now
him.
you know.
I don't know that to be true.
All right,
but
now that's what you need to
you
look
need to
into.
go back
See if
and
he's
ask
lying
him.
on the
If you
pastor.
come to church, you'd find out.
well, it's people like you. People like you are the reason I don't go to that church anymore. I don't go to that church anymore because I couldn't stand to look at you. And I know it's not right to feel that way.
No, it's
so I go to another church.
That's fine.
Plaintiff Gail Locke says the defendant is her church deacon, and she gave him a loan. But when Gail asked for the money back, the defendant told her it was God's money.
Why haven't you paid her?
I told her that I would pay her back when I received the money from the inheritance.
When would that be?
Sir, it's still in court.
Okay, so if it was 20 years in court, she wouldn't get her money for 20 years?
No, I'm not saying that.
That's what I'm saying. So when?
I didn't give her a deadline.
Okay, but when was it? Over a year ago?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
And you haven't given her a dime?
No, sir.
Not one dime?
No, sir.
Okay. All right, Reverend, or Deacon. Your pastor is the Reverend. All right. Judgment for the plaintiff. Have a good day.
That's a shame you do a single woman like that. Man of God, man of God. And my name's Patty. Do that name ring a bell to you? Your so-called son? Huh? That's my nephew. You lied on that.
Am I excused?
I get out of here too.
And you owe a whole lot of people money.
I get out of here too if I was you.
You even owe a
Liar,
pastor
liar,
money. Are you
liar.
paying the pastor back his money?
It's all right. I'm not a thief and a
Man of
scammer.
God.
But I forgive you. I just want my money.